Hey y'all. So I'm back. I've been saying for like a year that I was gonna make like a video about my dance journey, I guess, and how I got where I am today, like as far as like my partnership with the city. Um so basically my dance journey started when I was 7. My mom, she was trying to get me into magnet schools here, and she actually wanted me to go to council, but Osha Road chose me. And Osha Road is the creative and performing arts magnet school here. And that's where it all began. When I got there, I kind of always knew I liked dance, but I didn't know for real. Like when I was 4, my favorite movie was Dirty Dancing, but I didn't know. And I was obsessed with Janet Jackson, but I didn't know that I was just like really in love with dancing at 4. I just know that that's the stuff I like to watch. But I also like to watch Martin. So, I did want to be an actress when I was little, but I kind of gave that up because at Osha Road, we focused on all of that. But the drama teacher, actually, I still, see him and speak to him every once in a while. I guess I didn't stand out as an actress. So, he gave me little pieces here and there, but my dance teachers always had me up front. So that's where I went, and that's what was fun to me. That what was like enjoyable to me. So, it just worked. And I don't know, my dance teachers just took to me as soon as I got there. I started at the magnet schools when I was in the 2nd grade. And, you know, once I went over to my middle school, um, my middle school magnet school, which it started at 4th grade. Our magnet schools, the middle schools were 4th through 8th grade back when I was in school. Um, it was the same way. I tried to take drama and I tried to get into acting, and my drama teachers created dance roles in the plays, and then I end up dancing in the play or something like that. So, and my dance teacher, she just really took to me and advanced me. Once I left 4th grade, in the 5th grade, she moved me up to the beginner dance class. She moved me out of elementary dance to beginner. So when I was in the 5th grade, I was dancing with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And that just made me feel like, so in the 5th grade, I just was like, I'm meant to be a dancer. At Osha Road, I didn't really get much acting. Here, I'm not getting much acting, but they love me as a dancer. So I started really focusing on dance and practicing at home. I would watch the older girls and everything they do, I would try to imitate. And um, anything that was dance related at the school, I took it. I took baton, so I had learned how to twirl. I took exploratory dance, which was through drama. And then I finally took ballet my 8th grade year because one of my close friends, she y'all, I used to hate ballet. Like, it was like the most boring thing in the world to me. I was like, ugh, don't want to do that. That's boring. Ugh, I like jazz. I'm a jazz girl. I want to do jazz and hip hop and stuff, even though I want to learn no real hip hop. But my friend Danielle, she was just like, please try out for ballet company with me. And I was like, I'm not going to make it because, y'all, our ballet company in middle school, they were so good. Like, they were like professionals. Professionals. Like, I used to look at them like, how they know how to do this stuff? And like they were learning point, and I was just like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. And so she finally was like, please. And I was like, I have nothing to lose. I don't want to do it anyway. And I'm not gonna make it. So I'm not really tripping, like whatever. So I went and tried out. She was calling out all these terms that I didn't know because I never took ballet a day in my life. And I made the freaking dance company, the ballet company. And I was just like, I was just blown. I was like, how? In that same year, I ended up making captain of our dance company, or yeah, I guess it's like a dance company. We had like different levels of dance in middle school. And that year she picked like 5 of us to be captain, and I was one of them. So, I was just like worried about that. I wasn't like worried about ballet company, but I made ballet company, and I'm so glad she talked me into doing it because I got so much stronger. Like I started building muscle from doing ballet. I learned so much, and it actually turned out to be really fun. Like it was a challenge, but I enjoyed ballet. I enjoyed dancing my 8th grade year completely because we just did a lot, I was in 2 performance groups. I was in the ballet performance group and the jazz performance group, and we just had a ball. We used to do recruitment shows. We performed with the Mobile Symphony. We just did a lot. Like we did a lot. But anyway, so after that, I wanted to become a cheerleader at my high school, which is a performing arts school too. But I felt like my grades weren't good enough and that I probably wouldn't make it. So I didn't try out. And I was like obsessed with their dance company. But once again, I just thought they weren't going to choose me. I said I'll go for a year and then I'll try out for the dance company for my sophomore year, my freshman year going into my sophomore year. So me and my best friend, we both didn't try out for anything, and we both did beginner dance together. And when we were in the beginner dance class, our teacher was like, do a leap. And so we did a leap. We was looking like, okay. And then she's like, do a turn. And so we did a turn. She was like, you're in the dance company. We were like, what? Like, we didn't have to audition. Like, she just told us, like, you're in the company. We were like, wow. Like, y'all don't know how much that just, like, made me feel amazing. Like, I just was like, oh, my God. Like, I'm in Moving Images Dance Company. I cannot believe this. Like, I seen them on stage. They're amazing. And then once I got in the company, like I was getting like good roles. I was expecting to be like in the back. I'm a freshman, I didn't even try out. She made me a partner. I started doing partner roles. I just was like, this is just life. I just love this so much. I can't believe this. This is crazy. But so, I did that. Then the end of that year, 9th grade, going into 10th grade year, I tried out for a dance girl, the band's dance team, which is like a HBCU style band dance team for high school. And I made it, and me and my best friend, we made it. And the crazy thing is, everybody told us, they were like, y'all not gonna make it. Y'all not gonna make it. Freshmen don't make it. Only juniors and seniors are on the team. Like, y'all not gonna make it. And so we was like, well, we're gonna try it anyway. We might not make it, but at least we know how trials go. We made it. We was like, we weren't gonna what? We weren't gonna what? We ain't gonna make it. Okay. But yeah, we made it. And whew, it was rough. It was rough. Like, that whole year, that band experience just was rough. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't like it. I wanted to quit, but my mama was like, you ain't gonna quit. We don't do quitting. And I was like, but they're mean and it's hard. She was like, so? They don't make mamas like that no more. Because the mamas these days, as soon as the baby want to quit, they be like, all right, I'm taking my baby out. You too mean to my baby. Da, da, da. But anyway, My mom was like, you can't quit. So I didn't quit. So the next year, I became co-captain. My best friend became captain. I became co-captain. And that year was pretty fun. It still was rough. Band life is just rough. It's just rough. And the next year I was co-captain again. Then after that, I went and tried out for Alabama A&M Dancing Divas. And I don't know what made me just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go and try out. I know I'm gonna make it. Like, I just didn't think about it, honestly. I just was like, that's the school I want to go to, and I'm gonna do the dance team. It wasn't like I never had a question in my mind whether I was gonna make it or not. And it wasn't on a cocky level or anything like that. It's just like, back when I was younger, when I put my mind to something, it was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And most of the time it worked. Every once in a while it didn't. Like captain in high school, like I was like, I'm gonna be captain in high school, which I didn't really feel too confident about that. I wasn't really sure, but I got co-captain. I got first co-captain, so that was close enough. But I went to Alabama A&M and I tried out and I made it, and I was like, oh, okay. And y'all, it didn't dawn on me what I was doing until like after I did it, because A&M is 6 hours away from my hometown. And I was just like, why did I do this? Like, what made me decide to go from the bottom of Alabama to the top of Alabama? Like, y'all, I didn't try out with no friends. I didn't go to college with no friends. Like, I just went up there like blindly. Like, I don't know. I don't know what made me do that. I didn't think it through, but I had a great time being a dancing diva. The first year was rough. Really rough. It was mentally hard. It was physically hard, but it wasn't like real physically hard, because my high school was very physical. So I felt prepared for college, and I prepared physically to go up there. It was still rough. I had times where I like passed out, and I was suffering a lot of anxiety up there and didn't know what anxiety was. But overall, my first year dancing for A&M was way more fun than my first year dancing in high school. High school was rough. I don't know. But I had a lot of fun. My second year on the team was amazing. Amazing. It was so fun. That was the best year ever. My second year on the team was 2011. And that just was the best year. I missed that year. That was the year. We just had a lot of fun. And then we had really good freshmen. We only had 2 that year. I'm not gonna say any names because I don't know who don't mind being talked about or whatever. But then the next year, 2012, was my captain year. I got chosen to be the captain, and my best friend was my co-captain. So it's kind of like flipped. In high school, my best friend was chosen to be, this is another best friend. The strange thing is they have the same name. So yeah, they have the same name. Both of them are Laurens, but they're different Laurens. My best friend went and danced at another college. But I got chosen to be captain, and that year was rough, y'all. It was rough. I had all new girls. Nobody returned except for me and the co-captain, and it just was rough. It was rough. They didn't like me. They thought I was like evil and stuff. And honestly, like, I was trying my best to be compassionate, but I learned after a while that, so I'm a Taurus, and we come off as like nonchalant and like not caring and stuff, and that's not always the case. We just don't do a good job at showing it at times, I guess. And then sometimes we truly don't care. Like, some things that you think we should care about, we just don't, because we're kind of carefree. But they thought I was so evil and so mean. And I just seen them go through other mean and evil things But compared to those really mean, evil things, they thought I was the absolute worst. And I just was like, I'm just trying to help you. I'm just trying to make you a better dancer. But I feel like I did my job, because after I left, they were fire. I was like, okay. Each year after, like the next year, they were really good. Then the year after that, I was like, okay. They was really, really good. Then the year after that, they was really, really, really good. I was like, well, maybe I did do my job. Maybe I did teach them something, because, woo, it was rough. That's all I'm gonna say. So me being captain led me to my first dance job. My first dance job was at Prima Dance in Huntsville. I love the owner. She fired me though, but I love the owner. She taught me so much, and she's like a mother figure. Like, I just love her. Like, she's like one of those people that you can't help but love. Like, it's some people out there you can't help but love. Their personality is just, like that. But she hired me to teach stripper aerobics. And y'all, I didn't know nothing about no stripper, nothing, no sexy, nothing. Like, all I knew was like majorette, ballet, jazz. When I applied, I honestly thought she was gonna hire me to be like a technique instructor for the girls, but she hired my friend to be the technique instructor for the girls and me to be the strip aerobics. And I just was like, you sure? You sure? Because I don't know. But it was hard. Once again, it was rough, because I was 19 and most of the women taking the class was like, they were like 25 and up, in their 30s, close to 40. So they looking at me like, what does 19-year-old know about being sexy? What can she teach me about being sexy? So I felt like they didn't take to me that well at first, but eventually I guess I proved myself to them and they started liking me. So yeah. So after that, I moved back home. I'm trying to see, where did I teach first when I moved back home? I didn't. I was helping my high school dance team for a while, and then I started dancing with Dance 101 here, and by me dancing with her, she let me start some classes, my own classes under her, and from there she hired me. But I ended up getting pregnant with my daughter, my baby. And she kept me for a while, but she did let me come back and dance with the dance company after I had my daughter. And after that, so I taught for her for about a year, I think. And then after that, I went to Studio 37 for a while. It wasn't that long, some months. And then after that, I went to Gemini Studios, and I was teaching Hell on Heels, which was like a seduction class, and I was teaching little girls dance classes too. I love Gemini Studios. I love Ayla. She's just like in my heart, dear to my heart. I'm sorry, y'all. I said I'm gonna stop saying but yeah. Then after that, I went to, that was 2015. After that, I stopped teaching and I got like a regular job. What I do that for? I'm not regular. I can't do regular jobs. I mean, I can, but I had got a call center job, y'all. It was awful. I don't know why I did that. I got depressed and I wasn't dancing, and it just was rough. That's the word I keep using. That's the nicest word I can use for some of this stuff, rough. So I quit. And my manager's like, you sure you're gonna just quit? And I was like, And they was like, well, put your 2 weeks notice in. And, you know, I was like, you ain't gonna be able to come back. I don't ever want to come back. Not here. No, I don't want to come back. So I quit. And then the next thing you know, I just was like, let me try to find a dance job because that's what I feel like doing right now. This was like 2016. Yeah, this is 2016. I looked for dance jobs on Indeed here in Lower Alabama. I was gonna tell you, I'm in Mobile, Alabama. I looked for jobs in Mobile, Alabama. Nothing. No dance jobs. So then I was like, okay, maybe I like travel. So I was like, New Orleans, they had jobs. I applied for a job literally like the same day. I got an interview set up for that weekend. A job in New Orleans, a dance job. But then I was like, let me look at Atlanta too. My best friend was in Atlanta at the time. And I applied for it was a new studio in Atlanta hiring, and I applied for it, and they called me back. It was like, come down and interview. The interview is like an audition as well. And so I was like contemplating, like, New Orleans, Atlanta, New Orleans, Atlanta. New Orleans only like an hour away from where I'm at. Atlanta, 4 hours, and I have to leave. So I set up a trip to like just go, you know. I was like, I'm just gonna try. And then I'll figure it out afterwards if they like me. So I went down there. I called the person in New Orleans and was like, I have another interview. I'm not gonna make it. I'm sorry. It was for Kinder Dance in New Orleans. And so that same weekend I quit my job, I went to Atlanta, up to Atlanta, I'm down. And I did the interview and I did the audition. And there was a lot of people there. But I was like the only person auditioning, like doing ballet and jazz, which I did a jazz dance. And they loved me. And they were like, we love you. But they were concerned that I, lived out of town. They were like, but you don't live here. And I was like, well, I'll move. If y'all really want me, I'll move because this is what I want to do. They really wanted me. So I moved. So little old me from little old Mobile, Alabama, went to Atlanta, auditioned for a studio job, and they liked me and they wanted me. And I was like, me? I knew I could work in Alabama, but Atlanta, y'all want me? So I did that, y'all. It was amazing. Amazing. I taught for Dance Stars of Atlanta. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for saying who they are, but y'all, if y'all are in Atlanta, go and dance there. Go and dance there. They have 2 locations now. One is in Atlanta, one is in Riverdale. I worked at the Riverdale location because that was the only one at the time. Y'all, like, the people are so good. Like, they're genuinely good people. Like, it was just a vibe every day that I was there, like a vibe. But my friend ended up having to move. She had to move to California. And I mean, I had another job with my dance job and I was looking for other jobs, but I just didn't feel like I could swing it. And at the end of the day, I'm a mom and I don't like being away from my child for too long, and I don't want to suffer with my child. In life we make sacrifices, and I could have sacrificed, that, but I'd rather sacrifice with my child in a healthy, stable way for her. So I had to just let it go, and it hurt my feelings really bad because I was actually about to get hired at another studio in Atlanta, and that was back in 2016. I applied for another studio in Atlanta in 2016, and they reached out to me in 2019 asking me could I come and work for them. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, that's so weird. But anyway, so I moved back home and I started working for a studio here. I was not trying to. I did not apply. I just came and somebody asked me to sub their class. When I subbed their class, the owner was like, can you take their place and teach this class? Because you're amazing. And I was like, okay. And so I did, and it was decent pay. But at the end of the day, I kind of had conflict because she was kind of disrespectful. So I just didn't continue that place because it was rough. That's the word I'm using. It was rough. And at the end of the day, when I'm teaching kids, like, I don't want to be a bad vibe to them. Like, I want them to enjoy me. I want to give them good energy because they're kids. They need it. Like, people act like kids don't need good energy and uplifting, and, you know, people act like kids aren't people, and they are. And they're really important to me, and how they feel is really important to me. And I knew that how I was feeling wouldn't be conducive for them. So I needed to leave, and I needed to be replaced with somebody that could do that for them. So then I just stopped teaching. Y'all, it was rough. Because whenever I'm not dancing, it gets rough. And so I didn't teach in 2017. And it was, and I didn't know what was missing. I didn't know it was because I wasn't teaching. I didn't know that. So then, actually, I did teach in 2017. It was just the end of 2017. I tried to go most of the year. One of my friends, I think I can call him a friend. If you ever see this, let me know if I can call you a friend, because I think you like my friend. Anyway, Kentrell from the Princeton Elite, he was opening a studio here. And he was saying how he needed an instructor and a studio manager. And so I applied, and it worked out really well because it was like really close to where I lived, and he was starting from the ground up with his studio. He had a dance team, but he needed to fill the studio, and it just so happened I did teach before that. I forgot. I had taught a dance team, and things didn't work out with the dance team. What happened was I was teaching the dance team. I was the coach. Then I fell ill because I got pregnant and I had a miscarriage. But I still taught through my miscarriage. But then I think she kind of wanted to pause things. I can't really remember why. I don't know if it was because I was sick or I don't know. But then we did start back. We started back. I started coaching them again. And what we did was we did a collab where basically, since I was teaching at a studio, they were paying him to be able to practice in the studio. And then eventually, I don't know, the parents kind of decided they'll rather just be under the studio. And so that happened. And so Kentrell ended up being over them. And I was still their coach, basically. But long story short, I taught at the studio. That's when I first started Seduction with Shell. I started Seduction with Shell because I was like feeling very awful about myself because I had a miscarriage that year. I felt fat and ugly, and you know, me and my boyfriend had broke up, and I was just like, oh my God, like, how many women be feeling like this? Like, oh my goodness, like, we should never feel like this. And then I just was like, I want to do something that makes women feel good about themselves. And that's how I started Seduction with Shell. Because it's like I was just teaching the classes, but the studio is kind of open more than that. So I just talked to him about it, and I was like, you know, can I start a class? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. He liked the idea for the most part. So that's when I started Seduction with Shell at the end of 2017 because I felt ugly and fat. Truly, I did. But it helped me work on my confidence while I uplift other women's confidence. And it challenged me too, because seduction is not my style. Like, people think seduction my style. I felt very uncomfortable. Very. It's not my style. Anyway, so after that, with going into 2018, Kentrell, that studio closed, and I was back not really teaching. Well, no, I was still teaching. I had started teaching at Rock Paper Fitness. I love D. Hey D, if you watching this, hey. I don't know if you're watching this long, because this video been going on a while. But anyway, so I started teaching at Rock Paper Fitness, and that summer I started a dance team, because all these years people been like, can you start your own dance team? You should start a dance team. Start a dance team. And all them years I was like, I don't want no dance team. I just want to teach at a studio. If I teach at a studio, just bring your child to the studio. Just come on. If you like the way I dance, you want me to teach your kid, come on. Finally, I was like, I'm going to start a dance team. And, you know, I have a daughter, even though when I started the dance team, she was too young to dance for the dance team anyway. I started Gold Dynasty Dance Team in 2018. It was the summer of 2018. And I had about 6 girls, I think. I miss them. They were so sweet, y'all. They were just like the little sweetest hearts, and they worked really hard. Like, they worked really, really hard. But so yeah, I started Gold Dynasty Dance Team in 2018. But, you know, by me not having a studio or anywhere for us to practice. Oh, I had started working at another studio. I don't know if she will. I'm not gonna mention her studio, because I don't know if she will want me to, but I love her too. Like, she showed me that women can be young and a boss, because she was the boss, period. She still is. But I was working at that studio, and we were practicing in that studio sometimes. And then I worked for Crown Me for a minute, and my girls practiced there a little. And then finally in 2019, I was still working at the other studio. I just wasn't working at Crown Me. And my friend was like, hey, I seen this post. The city of Mobile Parks and Recreation is looking for like partners and stuff. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not ready. I don't have anything together, you know. And she was like, I don't know, just look into it. That seemed like it'd be like a really good deal for you. So I looked into it, and I was like, I'm not prepared, but it is a good deal. So I'm gonna see. But then when I looked at it, I had missed the date for the first meeting. It was like the only meeting. But that was on the website. I went and looked on their Facebook page, and they had another date, and it was like 2 days later from when I was saying it. So I had to like be ready like soon. So I just threw some stuff together, some ideas together, and came up with this program. And I went to the meeting, and they were like, okay, if you're gonna do this, you have to do an interview with a panel. And basically I had to, you know, persuade them that whatever I'm offering will be needed for the Parks and Recreation, basically. So I put together a PowerPoint presentation. Y'all, I thought I remember how to do all that stuff. I ain't did that stuff in so long. I forgot how to do all that stuff, but I did it, and I did it by myself. But I put together a PowerPoint presentation, and I had my dance team on there. But the way I was presenting it, I was going to actually start a dance program. It wasn't going to just be focused on the dance team. It would be a whole program. And they liked it. I was like, oh, y'all like it? Okay. So they chose me out of it was like 8 of us. they chose like 5 of us. And actually it wasn't 5 of us. One person had 2 different programs, and they chose them, both of their programs in there. And I was just like, wow, they chose me. What do I do now? So I got together a program, and I started real small. I just was teaching twice a week for 2 hours on each day at 2 different centers. And I'm not at either one of those centers anymore. But, you know, and now we're here. So I started my program in 2019. It was September 2019. I had about 8 kids. And then I had a few more added, but I never went over like 15 kids. I always had about 15 kids, and most of them would be like on my dance team, and I have a few outside kids that just come. But in 2020, after the pandemic started, I rebranded everything. It still was Dance with Shal, but I dropped Gold Dynasty and I made MOB Dynamics Dance Company. And I just kind of rebranded things and how I was going to run things. And I guess it worked. But I will say this, once the pandemic happened, I really was about to like give up. I wasn't going to give up like, because I'm not a giver-upper. I'm just joking. I don't really give up. I just recreate myself and try to do things a new way. But basically, I went from having like 15 kids to, you know, started from the bottom, now we're here. But after the pandemic, I was like, I don't know who's going to want to bring their kids to dance. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to promote and we'll see. And people brought their kids. And I was like, wow, okay. And I had like, I had dance aerobics, and that filled up, but it didn't last. And I had a 3 to 7 year old class, and that class filled up like immediately. And I was like, wow, okay. It filled up. So I added a couple more classes for the fall. They pretty much filled up too. And I was like, wow, okay, they filled up. And now I went from, in the fall 2020, I had 19 students. Now I have 57 students. Yeah, 55 or 57, one of those. So, you know, that's today. That's January. Yeah, January 2021. When I post this, it'll be February 2021. But that's where we are. Went from 19 students to almost 60. And my system is over 60, but all of them have not came. They paid, but they haven't came. So we'll see. You know, sometimes that happens. But basically, I'm just learning as I go. I started this pretty young. Started my own business, dance business, pretty young. So I'm just taking the punches and taking the prizes, and I'm just learning. And I appreciate everybody that supports me. I appreciate everyone that wants to dance with me, whether you can or you can't. I appreciate everybody that reaches out and asks questions, even if you don't, you know, decide to dance. Like, I love that. I love that you even consider me, because little old me, you consider me. Like, thank you. You think I'm good enough to teach your kid? Thank you. But that's basically my dance journey to now. I left out a lot of things. I've done a lot of things. I performed a lot of places in different states. The only thing I haven't done is perform out of the country yet, because baby, it's coming. It is, because the thing is, I'm probably never gonna stop dancing. Dancing may be the actual death of me. We'll see. But I'll probably be a 50-year-old still performing, because that's kind of what I saw. Like, my dance teacher at LaFleur, my first dance teacher, she was old, but she could move. She can stretch with us. Like, that's some motivation. So thank you for, listening to my story. I hope you liked it. I hope I didn't bore you because this video is really long. It's not really long, but it's long. But I'm about to go now because I didn't talk too much. But subscribe, like, comment. Let me know what you think. Thank you.